Welcome back. In this video we will install React application with a Redux Toolkit. So let's jump to the Redux Toolkit website. This is the URL for the Redux Toolkit and we are on a get started page. We can directly create a React application with Redux Toolkit, else we can install the Redux Toolkit in a existing application as well. So you will be confused like why we need Redux Toolkit and why not Redux. So previously we used to use Redux only, but there we have a lot of configuration, like there we have to add middlewares for asynchronous API call, that is a thunk, and other configuration as well. But with the Redux Toolkit, it is suggested by the Redux only and it's from the Redux only. So here we don't need to do like lot of configuration to set up a Redux store and like this line, a lot of packages. We don't need to use lot of packages as well, okay, which we used to do in the Redux. Let's go down and check for the installation steps. We can use this command if we don't want to use TypeScript, else we can use the template, that is Redux dash TypeScript. So we will get the boilerplate created. Okay, let's create. I am in this folder C and learn to code. Here I am opening the terminal. Let's create npx create React app and I am naming the application React Redux CRUD. Okay, and templates which I am using is Redux and Redux dash TypeScript. It will install all the necessary things required for the React and Redux application. It will take some time. Okay, so command is completed. Let me open the folder in Visual Studio Code, code.react Redux CRUD, which is the application name as well. Okay, let's run this application first, then we will see what are there. Npm start. Okay, so application is loaded at port 3000 and they have given us a counter application where we can increment the count, decrement the count, add amount and asynchronously and add if odd. Let's check in the repo. We have package.json. This is what our application name, and this is our application version, and this is what Redux Toolkit version is 1.8.5. React version is 18.2. React Redux is 8.0.4. okay, let's go in a src folder. So here we have index.tsx file and we have wrap. The whole application is inside the app component. So we have wrapped the app component inside the provider. So provider component is from the React Redux. There we are passing the store. We will check what is this store. Again we have here app.tsx file. So some code here, HTML code, and in features and counter folder we have this counter.tsx file. So they have added some like buttons, minus, plus and all that, and counter slice file. Okay, and again counter API. So let's see how they have used the Redux here. So coming to the index.tsx tsx file I mentioned, we have to wrap our whole application inside the provider component from the React Redux, and there we need to pass the store. So store is nothing but like bunch of like reducers. Okay, so now in this application we are using counter reducer. So counter reducer have data like value which we are increasing, decreasing. Okay, and while creating, we will create user reducers that will which will hold the data of the user. Then we can have employee, again some application data, all that we can mention here. So this store can pass to the provider, then only our whole application can access that store. Okay, and here we have this dispatch, app dispatch. Dispatch is nothing but a function from the store. You can we can call it like triggering a event. Okay, so just like we trigger event, we dispatch a action. Okay, then so whatever reducers we mention here, it has some state. Like I mentioned, here we have count, and in user reducer we will have list of user. That all we can access from the root state. Okay. And here thunk action. Thunk is basically used for the asynchronous activity. So whenever we have to call API, that time we use the thunk there. Okay, and here we have one more file, hooks.ts file, and so they have given us use app dispatch, use app selector. Okay, so instead of using plain use dispatch and use selector, we have to use these two. And if we go to the counter slice, here is the slice. So slice is nothing but a like function from the Redux. Okay, so it has a few things like a name. We have to mention the name of the slice. So in this case, it is a counter, and there we need to give the initial state. Initial state means what are the things are there. Like, let's check it. So in initial state we have value and state. Okay, status. So these are the state for the counter slice. Okay, got it. So and reducers. So in reducers we have the action methods like increment, decrement, and increment by amount. So here we in reducers we write the synchronous action methods. Okay, so here we can directly update the state, which then updates in the Redux store. And for writing the asynchronous uh, action methods, we can write in this way by using the create async thunk. Here we need to provide the name of it and asynchronous function. Then we are calling it. They are calling it the API and the responding the data. Okay. So in the slice only we have extra reducers as well. The extra reducer is for asynchronous actions. So like asynchronous action, we have three states here, that is pending, fulfilled, and rejected. So suppose I call the uh, asynchronous thunk. Okay, this one. I just invoke this one. So that time this action from the extra reducer will get uh, called. Okay, so I can mention the status of any page like loading, and I can show the loader on the page. Once that action is fulfilled and it returns some data, uh, I will get this event or this action. and I can mention here like status is ideal or success, and whatever data is written from that action, we get that in a action, this parameter in a action dot payload. And if that asynchronous action is failed, so we get in a rejected action extra reducer, so we can update the status like failed. Okay, let's see how the flow of the Redux. So here you will see that we have UI. Okay, and again I said here in Redux we have dispatch and store and reducer. So on clicking the UI, I will call my function from where I will dispatch any specific action like increment. Okay, so dispatch is nothing but like a triggering a event, so it will trigger increment event which will come inside the reducer. So reducer will do some activity. Okay, so it will update the state here, and that state will update in the store. Once the store is updated, the Redux will uh, like the UI will get to know that store is updated. That's how the whole flow works in Redux React. With this part, I will suggest you to install the Redux DevTools Chrome extension. So this is very useful. Let me open this. Okay, so we can capture the activities. Okay, so whenever we perform any action, like or whenever we need to check the store data, we can check here, or we need to track the uh, dispatch actions, we can easily check from here. Okay, so here I have only one uh, counter in the Redux store. So here it is mentioning only one counter, and in counter we have two property, that is a value and status. Okay, so value is 0 now, status is ideal now. Let me increase the. Okay, so now value changed to 1, status is ideal again. Okay, so this is the action which gets dispatch. Okay, that is counter increment. What is the type of it? Counter increment. Let's check in a different. So first value was 0. With this action, value is changed to 1. Even we can trace from where the dispatch is called. Okay, here they mention the path as well. And again, test case if you are writing. Okay, let me again increment it. Add amount. So here you will they trace it, increment by amount. Okay, in action type is counter, increment by amount, and payload is 2. And in difference, if you see, previous value is 1, new value is 3. Again, if you trace, now you will find another line number. So this is very useful while like debugging the Redux or while using the Redux. Okay, so in next video we will start implementing our CRUD application.